Mr. Zapple?
Ah, yes, Miss Pettigrew. How good to see you again. Back in detention once again, I see.
We prefer to call it jail.
Ah, and what was the offense this time? Oh, talking in class again. A reoccurring problem, is it not, Miss Pettigrew?
Yes, Mr. Zapple.
You know, have a seat. You know, when I was your age, we respected our teachers. Yeah. We only opened our mouth when we were addressed.
Is that so, Mr. Zapple? What else was it like to go to school in the 19th century?
That's precisely what I'm talking about. You students give me a pain in the stomach. Ah, and in what class did this occur? History. Of course, history. I'm so glad this young woman is not in my history class. Poor Miss Ringy. You young people have no sense of history anymore.
History is boring.
History tells us and gives us a direction of where we're going. It tells us what's worked, what we can do differently. History is us, Miss Pettigrew.
Whatever.
Someday, you will appreciate that history provides a foundation of civilization. Furthermore, history, the study of history, fulfills me, makes me more complete.
Mr. Zapple, Miss Renee asked me to deliver this note.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Oh, I've got to go get another cup of coffee. But while I'm gone, Miss Pettigrew, you will write on this whiteboard, I will not talk in class 100 times.
I remember when they actually did that. So you're gonna put 100 times. Lucky guess.
Prunella, have you seen Mr. Zapple?
Well, yes, Danny. I just killed him and stuffed his body into that closet.
Oh, Prunella, you're always joshing.
Makes you think I'm joking, Danny.
Now, Prunella, you know I don't like to be called Danny. Only my mom calls me that.
I know, Danny. Oh, Prunella, why do you have to be so cruel? Can't you see that Danny here has a crush on you? A crush? He wouldn't know how to react to a real woman. And you're a real woman. Well, at least I don't have to get all made up and phony like you do.
Look here, Prunella. I look better without makeup than you look without makeup.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Did to me once. Figures.
I think I'm going to find Mr. Zapple.
Where are you going, nerd?
I'm going to find Mr. Zapple, Drew.
Now look here, I told you. You call me Mr. Blood.
Yes, Mr. Blood.
Well, well, if it ain't the future ex, Mrs. Prunella Blood.
That chance.
You just don't know it yet.
Drew, you don't have to go after this thing. You can have me anytime.
Look, I found Mr. Zapple. He was in the teacher's lounge, just having a conversation with Miss Rossi or something like that. But really, he was only having
Something on your mind, Mr. Blood?
No, Mr. Zapple.
I didn't think so. Nice try, Miss Pettigrew. However, I suggest you do what I said 100 times. have your detention slips, please? Thank you, Miss Rossity. Thank you, Mr. Blood. Thank you, Danny.
It's Dan, Mr. Zapple.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Mr. Blood. I see you're still waging war against the English language.
Hey, it ain't my fault. It's that crummy English teacher that done it. She ain't gonna teach me nothing.
Crummy English teacher. You got a half hour more in detention.
Oh, yeah?
Would you like to try for an hour?
If it was only 100 years ago.
I beg your pardon?
I ain't say nothing.
And Miss Rossity. Flirting in gym once again. We should have never allowed boys and girls in the same physical education class. Back in my day, we kept the boys and the girls separate in physical education.
Ew. What's the fun in that?
Love you.
And Danny, what was the inspiration this time? What invention this time?
Please, Mr. Zapple, it's Dan. And if I was able to complete my experiment, I would have proven that nucleophiles with an electronegative atom with lone pairs adjacent to the nucleophilic center are particularly reactive.
And the result was, you burnt down the back wall of the chemistry lab.
I used one too many nucleophiles.
is the meaning of this? Mr. Zapple, you are responsible for maintaining order in this detention hall. What exactly is going on here?
I'm doing a marvelous job trying to instill upon these young students the importance of an education. Anytime you'd like to replace me in this thankless job, be my guest.
Not in a million years. Miss Pettigrew, I hope you are taking to heart this very important lesson you are writing.
Yes, Miss Ringing.
And Mr. Blood, I hope you are finding ways to deal with your disagreements with your fellow students other than resorting to fisticuffs.
Oh yes, Miss Reading. I learned my lesson.
Learned my lesson.
Oh, Miss Reading, you learned your lesson too.
Mr. Druff,
Yes, Mrs. Mrs. Isabel, Miss Ringing.
is something funny, Mr. Blood?
No, Miss Reading.
I didn't think so. Now will you quietly take your seats and reflect upon your various transgressions? You as well, Miss Pettigrew. You may finish your punishment lesson in a few moments. I said, is something funny, Mr. Blood?
As a matter of fact, Isabel, there is. This whole thing is funny.
Mr. Blood, you know firearms are forbidden in this school. You will dispose of that instrument at once.
Oh, Isabel, you're so self-important. Zapple, you don't care about your students. Dan here's afraid of his own shadow. And I reckon you will be the next Mrs. Blood. Come on, we're gonna go find the justice of the peace.
You're not gonna get away with this, Mr. Blood.
Oh, I already have.
Mr. Zapple, will you see to Mr. Druff?
I thought he loved me.
I believe Mr. Blood has no love for anyone but Mr. Blood. Now, Miss Rossity, will you please go to the sheriff and inform him of this predicament?
But Miss Ringing, the sheriff and the justice of the peace are one and the same.
I am well aware of that. Just do as I say.
What happened?
You passed out.
I know that. What happened to Prunella?
It appears that Miss Pettigrew is about to be married to Mr. Blood.
Over my dead body?
What's going on here?
You're gonna perform a wet nap.
Under whose authority?
My little friends.
Oh, not so little.
Just do it.
Sheriff, there's been a kidnapping. Drew, what are you doing?
Who are you?
What do you mean, who are you? I've loved you since primary school.
Again, who are you?
Drop it, Blood.
You.
Anything you say.
Perform a wet nap.
If you think you're going to intimidate me into performing an illegal marriage, you're correct. Is there anyone here present who has just cause to stop this marriage? Please come forward.
I do! Not again.
Come on.
Wait, darling, take me with you.
Who are you?
I'm your secret lover, Drew.
Sorry, darling. This here Prunella's gonna be my wife. Now, if we was in Utah.
Oh, but don't leave me, darling. I'd do anything for you.
Anything?
Anything.
Pick up that sheriff's gun there. And keep these varmints covered while I escape with my soon-to-be wife.
But darling! Hold on a minute.
I just leave this party?
Same party, different guests.
What's that?
It appears that our local beauty queen, Generosity, has joined forces with the dastardly evil villain, Drew Blood. Who knows what fate will befall our lovely young Prunella Pettigrew?
It is altogether my misfortune that Miss Rossity has absconded with my firearm. That was a mighty brave thing you did there, young man.
What's that?
He saved my life. You jumped on that varmint like a frog on a grasshopper.
I did?
And we gotta figure out where those varmints took those ladies out to.
To where he took those two young ladies.
What?
Never mind. We need to devise a plan of attack.
Hey, I'm the sheriff here. If there's any planning of attacks being done, I'll be the one to plan them. But I like to always solicit input from the citizenry.
Come on. You sit there. Well, I'll stay there, and I'm gonna go get the justice of the peace to hitch us.
That'll never happen, Drew.
Oh, yes, it will. Or you'll never see your daddy again.
My daddy's gone to the great beyond.
Well, then I guess you'll see him a lot sooner than you expected.
What are you doing? I thought you were going to marry me.
Who are you?
I'm your betrothed.
What?
Your intended? Drop that weapon. Now, you sit down next to this hussy, and I'll go get the justice of the peace. I've written up a nice letter so that they will believe my plan. And all you have to do is say, I do.
Do you have any clue where they might have gone?
We're not even sure it's a kidnapping.
Well, we do know now.
What's that?
It's a ransom note.
A ransom note?
A ransom note.
A ransom note?
I'll take that. Like I said, let us know what it says.
I have seen the error of my ways and have decided that I shall marry my sweet Generosity. And if you ever want to see that ungrateful wench Prunella again,
Ungrateful wretch? If I had my hands on him, I sure am ungrateful.
let me continue. You shall bring $500 and your wedding book to the train station at high noon. I don't have a wedding book.
I think that was meant for me.
Oh.
The $500 must be in small denomination gold pieces, and bring a bouquet of fragrant flowers for my wonderful Miss Rossity, soon to be Mrs. Drew Blood. And if you do not think that I am totally resolute in my undertaking, I must inform you that I have a rope and a railroad track close by. Should you fail to deliver, I shall secure said Miss Rossity to the rails just in time for the arrival of the 4:30 from Amarillo. All you shall then find are the hewn remains of your darling Jenna.
I know where they're off to, and I also know what the real story is. It's not blood who's behind this, it's generosity.
Oh, where's that young hero off? We better kill him. I gotta take the wedding book.
Oh, and the flowers.
I hope you two are enjoying your last few minutes together.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, never fear, darling. For you, it's just enjoying your last few minutes as a bachelor before we begin our new life together as man and wife.
We shall be free of him.
Soon you shall be free of all life's troubles, especially my soon-to-be husband.
You'll never get away with it.
Shut up!
Darling, why don't you untie these ropes for me?
whoever you are.
Darling, I'll need the extra rope anyhow to more securely fasten Prunella as she meets her fate. You can help me here?
Of course. Anything that'll keep me from getting guys.
Jenna, I never had any idea of taking Drew. It was the furthest thing from my mind.
Quiet. I've watched you try to seduce my darling Drew all these years.
But I never.
Hold it!
Help! Help! Drew, grab the other gun.
Well, what did you expect? How much did you pay for those tickets?
Well, tell me, young hero, how did you figure out it was Jenna?
Did you really read that ransom note? Can any of you picture Drew Blood using words like bouquet or resolute or hewn? There are no grammatical errors or misspellings. There's no way Drew could have written that note. He's not that smart. Thanks, David. You're welcome.
Well, it looks like we won't need the wedding book.
Maybe you can.
We are gathered here in the sight of Almighty God to check on negative cycles with co-workers and people that don't.
Is the meaning of this? Mr. Zappel, you are responsible for maintaining order in this detention hall. What exactly is going on here?
I'm doing a marvelous job trying to instill upon these young students the importance of a good education. Anytime you'd like to replace me in this thankless job, be my guest.
Not in a million years. Miss Pettigrew, I hope you are taking to heart this very important lesson you are writing.
Yes, I am. And I've decided on the theme for my term paper. It will be education in the 1890s, and it will be turned in on time.
That would be very nice. And a first. Mr. Zappel, if you don't mind, I'd like to just dismiss this detention so that we might continue our discussion in the teacher's lounge?
Yes, dear. Hey, Miss Green. Class dismissed.
Finally. What do you say, Prunella? Why don't we pick up where we left off?
You heard Mr. Zappa. It's time to go.
You ain't worth it. What about you? Want to go get a hamburger or something? Whoever you are?
Of course, Drew. What about you, Dan? Care for a hamburger?
I guess so.
Thank you all very much. I think our actors are going to come out in a few minutes if you want to talk with them. They didn't know I said we were going to say that. And a hand for the stage crew who did all those set changes. Thank you.